Starting off today with the weighted bird dog, I'm using a 10-pound plate and making sure I am getting all the key points of this movement so that it can be nice and fluid. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So some of the key points of this movement are keeping the hamstrings fully extended. To get a full extension of my hamstrings, I'm simply keeping my feet in dorsiflexion. So basically pointing my toes towards my nose. And that's going to get a nice stretch in the gastrocnemius, the calf muscles, and a nice stretch in the hamstrings as you're doing this, allowing the core to initiate the movement. So the core stays contracted the entire time. I am pushing my back down on the ground actively every single second of this movement. I am pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. And there's no air gap or arch in my back, as you can see. And I maintain my posture by keeping my hips anteriorly tilted. So next I have another variation of the bird dog. You know you're doing it incorrectly if your arms are flimsy and your legs are flimsy and your back is arched and there's no pressure on the ball. As I'm doing this, I want to maintain the pressure from my knees and from my forearms, pushing firmly on the ball at 4 points of contact. Feet are in dorsiflexion, core is contracted, and the contralateral sides of the movement are working fluidly and simultaneously. So right arm with left leg and left arm with right leg. The next exercise is easily done wrong as well, and that is by having floppy legs. If you have floppy legs, there is more of a risk of injury, and it's just not safe to do it like that. If your back is leaning against the wall or not in a perfect L position, you're doing it wrong. Feet are in dorsiflexion, and your leg is simply raising up and around the weight and back down. Up and around the weight and back down. Up and around, 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 back down. In the next exercise, I keep the same spacing between the two weights, and I just put a mat down so that my face and everything doesn't get dirty. And in this one, I'm working on my rectus spinae, my gluteus minimus, and my internal obliques. Just going to get this entire pelvis and all the muscles that surround it nice and intact. So these are reverse hyperextensions, and it's the same concept as the last one. Up and around, back down, up and around, back down. Keep the feet in dorsiflexion, keep the head flat, keep the chest on the floor, keep the abdomen on the floor. That's about it. I don't know what these are called, but I know how I feel after I'm done, and I feel like I have some ninja hips after I'm done with this. I'm basically elevating that knee up, toe up, kicking it out in front of me, pulling it back in, and putting it back out to the side, laterally, then back down. Up, out, in, side, in, down. Up, out, in, side, in, down. So the elevated side kick, I am focusing on pushing my knee down into the floor and keeping my arms stable by pushing my palms down to the floor. I want to keep myself balanced by making sure I'm stable in that 3-point stance. Nothing else is really moving, and I've isolated the side that is up and away from me, from everything else. And that's the only part that's really moving. So I know I'm doing it wrong if I'm unstable and wobbling and flopping over onto the box instead of just placing my knee down on the box. It shouldn't be collapsing down. My head should not be moving. My head should be in place. My hip should not be rotated all the way out, away from the box. It should just be in alignment. The knee hug and T pose. When doing the knee hug, I want my foot to be in dorsiflexion, and I want the same position from the knee hug to be the same position that my foot remains in after I have released my knee and thrown my arms out to the side. One, two, three, four, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. And the leg raise with ball rotation is saved for the very end. I think overall this movement looks the easiest and simplest, but after doing all of that, this right here burns like crazy. So if you want a good burn, I suggest doing this after everything else is done. Put the ball between your feet, lift up, get it down about 2 inches off the ground, and then turn it. Down,